Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. More than 8 million Filipinos stand to benefit from the government's tripartite deal with AstraZeneca. Shots from the British-Swedish company are expected to arrive in June at the soonest. JC Cosico is reporting to us live from Mandaluyong to tell us more about this good news. Hi JC, how many LGUs and private companies are involved in this endeavor?
Sean, the government and the private sector have signed a tripartite deal with AstraZeneca to secure millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Around 300 companies and 39 LGUs across the country pitched in for the procurement of 17 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines from the British-Swedish drug maker. These included 2.6 million doses procured in November 2020 by over 30 business leaders. During the signing today, Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion says the doses will be delivered this year and will be used by June or July for the benefit of around 8.5 million Filipinos. Vaccine Zarcolito Galvez Jr. meanwhile assures Filipinos that the government's vaccine program is science-based and safe. Galvez adds that the private sector cannot directly buy vaccines from manufacturers since the FDA has yet to issue a certificate of product registration to vaccine manufacturers. To date, Galvez says the country will be able to secure a total of 137 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine should all contracts with vaccine makers be signed within the month. Sean, in a recorded message, President Duterte thanked the private sector for its help in the pandemic response, and AstraZeneca earlier reported a 70% effectivity rate against COVID-19, while its EUA application remains pending with the FDA. Back to you.
All right, JC, how many of these shots, these 17 million initial shots, will be going to LGUs and how many to the private sector? And do we know already if LGUs will be getting enough supply based on their initial procurement plans and their budgets?
Sean, during the press briefing earlier, Concepcion said that 50% will be allocated to the private sector and 50% will be allocated to the government. Sean.
All right, now, thank you very much for that update. JC Cosio joining us live from Mandaluyong. Malacanang says vaccines from Pfizer will likely arrive in February. Palace spokesman Harry Roque made this remark when pressed about their supposed favoritism for China's Sinovac. He says this goes to show that the government is not favoring one brand over another. Roque's remark comes as the Food and Drug Administration approved Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use in the country. FDA Chief Eric Domingo said that the U.S.-based pharmaceutical firm can supply jabs to emergency use stakeholders or other designees such as hospitals, LGUs, and the private sector. These shots cannot be sold commercially as the EUA is not a marketing authorization according to the FDA. As for Sinovac, which just applied for an EUA in the country, the FDA says it will wait for the company's complete trial data.
They're undergoing pre-assessment now. In this case, phase 3 clinical trial results yung inaantay natin. No? And that would be the main meat of what is going to be evaluated.
We're pausing for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here. You are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The city government of Marikina is now gearing up for COVID-19 vaccination. Let's check out their preparations with Lilat Pangilinan reporting to us live. Hi Lila, what's the plan of the Marikina LGU?
Sean, 5 vaccine fridges and a freezer are already on standby, and each unit can carry 7 to 7,500 vials, or that's a total of 3,500 to 3,750 liters per unit. The temperature varies per unit. For the vaccine refrigerator, it is set at +2 to 8 degrees centigrade, while for the freezer, it is at -15 to -25 degrees centigrade. Mayor Marcy Chodoro notes that these are not enough for around 240,000 doses of vaccine that they are expecting. So a room will be allotted as a cold storage facility to ensure that each dose won't go to waste. Teodoro also says that they have ordered ultra-low freezers for the vaccines that the government will be issuing to them. The LGU is also planning to deploy mobile vaccinators that will conduct house-to-house vaccinations. In addition, they will conduct simulations of the procedure to make sure that everything will be in order. And Sean, just to give you a peek on what these vaccination fridges looks like, this is one of them. It has a temperature on the lower left side, and if you open this, it has a temperature monitor to make sure that the right temperature is in check, and it can contain up to 7,500 vials per unit. But note that these are not COVID-19 vials. These are the routine vaccines that they are giving to the health centers. So more or less, that's how it looks like. And the freezer looks the same, and the only difference is the temperature. That's the latest here, Sean. Back to you.
Thank you so much for showing us those facilities in Marikina. Lilat Pangilinan joining us live. And doctors in Indonesia are wary of the Sinovac vaccine as their government begins mass inoculation with the Chinese-made jabs. Reuters says only 37% of Indonesians are willing to be vaccinated. In response, Indonesian President Joko Widodo himself was publicly inoculated yesterday. Indonesia approved Sinovac for emergency use based on interim data of 65.3% efficacy, which is higher than the WHO's 50% benchmark. Nearly 1.5 million health workers are first in line to be injected, with Indonesia being the first country outside of China to use the shots in large-scale vaccinations. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.